Hello! Welcome to this episode of the FANMEN podcast. I'm DJ Gove.
Chris Davis.
Sean Ogerty.
How's it going?
Fabulous.
Doing well, sir.
The first thought that came to mind when we sat down to record today, this will probably be coming out a couple weeks after we released The Lords of the Rings, our Patriots episode.
Yes.
So we're recording this purely for ourselves?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering is how much, how much our listenership dropped with the delay followed by, the Patriots episode. For those of you who are listening to this, thank you for sticking it out. We promise it'll be only about a year until the next Patriots Super Bowl.
And if you're not Patriots fans, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Don't listen to Chris. I apologize.
No.
No, actually, it wasn't. We didn't get. I didn't get annihilated as bad as I thought we were going to get.
Good.
I think at this point in time, people were just like, "Hey, it's inevitable. Whatever." So,
it's what's going on?
I don't know. Picked up a couple little collectible things. Nothing major. I think I mentioned last episode I got my NECA turtle figures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the hunt for the NECA turtle cartoon figures.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if I want to see them physically in my hand for if I'm going to buy them or not because they're expensive, but I might look for them. And then just went and bought some clearance stuff. My GameStop had 75% of clearance stuff, so I got the
Dangerous.
Yeah. I did pretty good. I did the Black Series Executioner's Baton from Force Awakens, the Traitor, that thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was $200.
Wow.
And I paid like $21 for it.
That's
Wow.
That's better.
So that's good.
Crazy.
And then I got the Black Series, a couple of the big vehicles like the Dewback and Luke Speeder and Ray Speeder. They're
Nice.
like $8 a piece.
Yeah, can't
So just
say no.
yeah, just some shelf fodder. But I've been pretty
Shelf fodder.
Shelf fodder.
There's another word for that. It's called junk.
Junk. Yes. I like to dress up a little bit so I don't feel so bad. But yeah, no, it's just, I've done good.
Shelf fodder. I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah, like
SF.
yes. Much to some people's chagrin, it's now almost the end of February 2019, and DJ has not put a new Funko Pop on the shelf yet in 2019.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long that continues.
Yeah.
But we're proud of you, DJ.
Thank you. So
Doing well.
yeah, it's gonna kick up. I'm gonna buy my wife a couple this summer, even though she doesn't want them, like Instinct's coming out and Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. But
So if she doesn't want them, it's more purchase for you, so you can say you didn't buy them?
no, because she'll
But you
like
bought
them once they're on her shelf or something like that.
So yesterday I sat down with my wife and my daughters and watched the Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse movie. And it got me excited for the upcoming movies. We've got Captain Marvel, we've got Endgame, all those things coming up. But I just wanted to say that, I'd heard good things across the board. Lots of folks saying, hey, it's animated, but it's for everybody. Yeah, it's Marvel it's everybody. It was fantastic. We all enjoyed the crap out of it.
It was. I also just caught up on that this week. I know I'm a bad comic book fan, but I have an excuse. I usually always like opening weekend. I always take the kid. I do. And she ended up going with her friends from school and seeing it without me.
Yeah.
The little friggin' brat.
Damn shame when they grow up.
And I just never had time to go see it by myself. I just didn't. It's been so crazy. We've been out and about, vacations, and I think, did that come out in November, right? In the theaters?
November, December.
It came out, I think
It's been out for a while.
I think it came out like right either when I was at Disneyland or when I got back, and then
Yeah.
we've been doing college stuff and Christmas, and I didn't have the time to see it. But I always thought it was all bullshit, like the hype for it, because people hype up a lot. Sometimes people hype up stuff for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like people get pissed off at me. Everyone blows Black Panther. I didn't think the movie was that good at all.
Yeah. You're allowed to think that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be allowed back at Disney.
No, I don't.
Pretty sure Iger came out and said it was a success, even if it doesn't win tonight.
Oh yeah, no, it was. It totally was. It made all the monies.
Yeah, we are recording this on Oscar. It is
Oscar Day.
It's Oscar night.
Yeah.
One of the
Mere hours away.
Yeah, for me, as far as and the spectrum of nights of the year that I'm excited about, this is probably the last thing in the world I give a fuck about is the Oscars.
I've always enjoyed the Oscars, though not always watching them because I like all the production awards.
Yeah, they don't even show that stuff on TV anymore.
Yeah, well, I think they will, but yeah, they moved a lot of them off site into a different weekend, and then but that's the stuff I like.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I ever really watched the Oscars was to see if Return of the King was going to win because they skipped the other Lord of the Rings movies. Yeah. But normally for me, it's like one of the worst movies. What was when it's like I didn't like Crash sucked and Beautiful Mind sucked, and I don't like that. I don't like the Oscar.
I wouldn't say Beautiful Mind sucked.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I don't like the Oscar bait movies. I get annoyed. But anyway, so back to what I was talking about.
Back
exactly. Yeah, there's not enough,
the bar's here, man.
There's not enough curse.
When are we going to get the Oscar for dick and fart jokes? Is that the MTV Movie Awards? Or,
pretty much.
Yeah, the Razzies maybe.
Yeah, the Razzies.
Fucking Razzie. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, I went into Spider-Verse thinking, okay, it's going to be decent, but it was probably a top 5 all-time superhero movie. Yeah. I loved it.
I'm going top 2.
Top 3, maybe. Yeah, I could go top 3 probably.
Yeah,
I mean, it's right behind the first Iron Man for me.
I haven't thought about ranking it. I actually
like it better than Winter Soldier.
Really?
I would put it above both of those for me because it captured. Yeah, it was a great story. They handled the multiverse type stuff really well, but I loved the thing. It felt and looked like a comic book come to life in a non-gimmicky way.
So smart. That's what it was. It was smart. Everything it did was for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. Any like little emotional tug, any Easter egg, any reference. It wasn't done just for fan service. It all had an actual purpose. It was just very well done.
It wasn't a paint by numbers comic book movie.
It was not even close. Yeah. I love the way they did like, because every time you got a new Spider-Man, like, okay, let's do this again. They just do the origin thing. The pages. I got bit by a spider, blah, blah, blah. I saved the city. Fuck you, whatever, I'm done.
But that
was hilarious.
That drove home in so many different ways, the multiverse thing, right? Yeah. It played it for laughs while informing. It was fantastic.
It did. And we stopped.
Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir
was
awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. The only thing I would probably change in the movie, the only little tick I have is, I'm not a big John Mulaney guy. I would have changed Spider-Ham's voice.
Oh.
That's like low-hanging fruit. That's small potatoes in the grand scheme of things.
That was the thing that set the edge, right? As far as the complete weirdness of the various universes. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
I'll go so far as to say it has the best villain out of any of the comic book movies. You have a villain that's actually taking actions from an emotional center.
Oh, yeah.
Kingpin is driven by the loss of the wife and son.
Yeah.
And the humanity he's doing, of his shame in their sight is an interesting anchor.
And he kills the hero.
Oh, that's right.
You never get that in the other movies.
No. Yeah. I mean,
the other Marvel villains are all
But it's
useless.
not enough. He wants to kill all versions of the hero.
Yeah. It was.
But you're right, Chris. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
I was very surprised. It was really good. So that's a good segue because we figure what we do. So we're on the cusp of Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. We will be seeing Captain Marvel when it comes out. We're going to do a review. We're going to go that weekend. It'll come out that weekend. So we figured we'd prime it up. All these movies coming out: Endgame, Captain Marvel, Shazam. They have even Away from Far From Home, the other Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's a new measuring stick, and it's a cartoon, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna
hold on. Pause. Why, unfortunately?
Yeah,
because there's so many you can do. Like, there's no way the live action, as far as like being like true to the books, you can't. It's very hard for the live action to get that same feel as a cartoon does, because you can do anything you want in a cartoon. Yeah. If you made Spiderverse in live action, first off, you couldn't do it. That'd be a $500 million movie with all the effects and the cuts and the robot and the fucking pig and everything.
But regardless of the medium, it had the thing for me was the execution and the story.
Yeah.
It had the best script.
Yeah.
Everybody blew Infinity War. It is an elongated Tarantino cutscene.
Exactly. It's a
7 different times just to get you to the next movie.
Oh,
it's
no,
not a movie.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is because it's an animated movie
beautiful.
And they made it for a small chunk of money, you probably didn't have a lot of interference. Something like
was
Infinity
it a small
War.
chunk of money?
They made it for a decent chunk of money.
I mean, because it's such
north
a
of 50,
long...
I thought,
yeah.
Which for an animated movie is
pretty huge.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if they gave Ward Miller, we'll say $250 million to do a Spider-Verse live-action movie, they're going to have the hands in the cookie jar on what they can and can't do. So it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
But they were smart enough to hand it to Ward Miller and let them make the movie they wanted to make.
Yeah. Those guys they did the Lego movies too. They make good animated movies.
Yeah.
First Avengers was good. Yeah. Second Avengers, they told them how they wanted to market it.
Yeah. It looks like
you lost a director.
Looks like 56.4 with before budgeting.
Every once in a while, I pay attention. Yeah. Every once in a while.
So that's a lot for an animated, but I mean, if you're putting Spider-Man on it, you can expect $100 million.
Well, I understand what you mean when you say unfortunately, but I think one of the things I like, and some of the early buzz I'm seeing about Captain Marvel may fit into this. I like the Marvel universe has gotten to the point where there's so many different perspectives and tones that have been fit into it it's animated, does that entire tone that I loved about it still doesn't conflict. You don't have to do that every time.
No, but now you've cracked the code. You have an animated feature that's pulled right from the pages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was successful. So you don't have to doll it up with hundreds of millions of dollars of CGI.
Yeah.
And the story's kind of close, but we can't really do this.
Well, what's interesting, this wasn't a full-bore feature film for theatrical release. How does that compare to the long spate of DC movies, the animated DC movies that haven't had that level of investment in production stuff, but have still kind of had that same quality?
Well,
Yeah. So I mean, Spiderverse is, I'm not a person to say, the Spiderverse movie is better than any of the DC animated movies.
You're so bitter.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying like
I've nicknamed him Neg.
Yeah.
He's going to start from a point of negging on everything.
Yep.
I am no. I mean, I carry a torch for the DC animated movies. I love almost all of them. I mean, I do. And it's like, oh yeah, no, it's Marvel. I like it when DC always had the one thing. DC's got the animated stuff. It's better.
Oh yeah.
Spiderverse is better.
DC still has the animated stuff.
They do. They as a collective.
Sony made one.
That's true.
Marvel didn't make this.
Yeah, that's true. Sony did.
That's an excellent
This
point.
is not.
Yeah.
And Sony has done good animated features before.
Yeah, but
Sony was smart enough to get the directors and let them go after making the Lego movie.
Is there a story in the DC realm that would benefit from the level of love and investment that Spider-Verse got?
Battle for the Cowl.
Okay.
Mhm. Crisis.
Crisis. Yeah, not the original one, not the new one.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
Flashpoint.
yeah. I mean,
I know they already did a
and that
Flashpoint
was-
movie, but
Yeah, it was good, but it was like a half measure.
could it?
I liked it.
No.
You could have gone long form.
yeah,
But let's say DC did that and actually made one as good.
You could actually.
I
do that
don't
live
think they could get the response that Marvel has gotten.
no.
DC has lost something in.
But is that DC? I'm gonna bang the same drum here. Lord and Miller made you care about Lego characters.
Good point.
It's about the heart.
It's them.
It's
Yeah.
the movie and the heart they instill in the movie.
It is.
You actually care about these characters. You have a full character arc for Miles. You have a full character arc for Kingpin.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you see.
So
the
I
progression.
believed I was going to get that with Spider-Verse, but I believe that because of the buzz and reviews and stuff I heard, getting to the level of that buzz for a comparably produced and quality DC movie, I think would be harder.
Yeah, and I think I think Chris Einstein, Lord of Miller is a big part of that movie. The way they do
Miles
stuff.
Morales, you get that soundtrack.
And
You've got,
yeah,
there's so
that's
many.
the thing. I think
hits.
another big hit was the whole Miles thing because I mean,
Yeah.
that's put it for what it
It
is.
hits the
He was
diversity vein.
fantastic.
He was,
capture.
and now you have not only do you have a hero who's, I guess, half black, half Hispanic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have that minority hero, which is great. Every kid of every background should have their superhero.
But that didn't.
But he's
that
also-
didn't matter.
yeah.
It was just a kid
Exactly.
who fit.
Exactly.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
exactly. But you get the added bonus of having now I have my character. So you bring these other kids in that maybe don't relate to
That-
Captain America.
Representation. Sure.
Representation.
That
yeah.
Representation. Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only that, you didn't just have here's this African American and Hispanic kid who's he's just some other guy. He's Vibe or he's
Yeah.
fucking Static Shock. He's a fucking Spider-Man, which
Yeah.
is a huge get.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's a big deal.
Absolutely.
In our world of stuff.
But
So
right.
it was a bonus. It's a cherry on the sundae kind of thing.
I like representation when it's not representation for representation's sake. And I think the
Exactly.
character of Miles Morales was honest, real, so well portrayed, and that being the hook for I don't want to see a movie that has a hip hop soundtrack because it's trying to be, oh, we want this audience, or I'm trying to market for this. Or,
Oh, yeah, no.
Right. Everything about the way the movie grooved and felt was completely anchored by the various characters they had, the environment that they were doing it in.
Mhm.
I loved all the New York
Yeah,
stuff.
and they had Miles
Yeah,
Morales because Miles Morales is the character of the movie. It's not they took a guy. It's not they took Miles Smith and made him Miles Morales for the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he is. So it's great. But the biggest thing is those Lord and Miller guys, man. They can do animated movies. That's what they should. That's all they should do.
They're just good filmmakers.
They are. They
I'd
are.
be curious to
Don't
see what they're
pigeonhole them.
solo.
I know. I wish I saw their solo.
Yeah.
I wish that whole thing didn't go south.
Yeah.
Because
I enjoyed it.
Because once again, that's a perfect example of what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
You give them the Lego movie, they leave them alone. Yep, go do it. It's a cartoon, whatever. Go do the little cartoon movie. Oh, we're gonna give you $250 million, you Han Solo. We're gonna nitpick and tug and change shit.
I
and fuck
wonder
with the
how
outside.
much of that is the physical presence on set of producers and studio folks, right? Because of course you want to be on set because that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be coddling the stars and seeing your money and having your voice and seeing your presence felt on that set. Yes, I'm the producer. I need to say
You wrote a check. You didn't do
Right.
shit.
Exactly.
right. Animation, there's no. I mean, going to where it's being drawn or CGI'd or animated is not the same type of sexy, and so the ego of producers doesn't have the same fit.
It comes down to that budget.
Yeah,
It's easy to get $50 million back. That's not hard.
Yeah, but like this way, it's like, I mean, if you're Disney, you're like, we had these guys. They're like the up and coming thing. Like, they get the Russo brothers do the Marvel stuff and all that, but they had these guys, and they should have just left them alone. And they fucked around with them, and they swapped them out, and they shouldn't have, because the guys can make good movies, and then now Disney has a little egg on their face.
Yeah,
Disney has no egg.
Well, Solo lost money. They lost money.
Yeah,
it's Disney.
I know.
I think it's easy to say should, but it's complexity. There's no way to know, right?
And there's going to be no carryover. Ward and Miller will do another movie for them. They're not going to shy away.
If Spiderverse wins an Oscar,
it's winning Best Animated tonight.
Yeah,
it is.
I would imagine it has to.
It is. What's
up against it?
Incredibles 2, Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I still haven't seen Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2 is really good, and it's not as good as Spiderverse.
We did see
Incredibles 2 is really good.
We saw Ralph Breaks the Internet.
That was cute.
I really enjoyed that.
Not Oscar worthy, but it's cute.
No, but I enjoyed.
I liked it more as a social commentary than anything else.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I enjoyed the dregs of the dustbin of the internet's history.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Netscape Navigator.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
The whole society. I'm writing like me. Yeah. If you don't like me, I don't have value.
Yeah.
That's essentially what the whole thing was.
My kids were like, "Where's the cat videos?" Right as they're hitting all
the
hit
the cat videos.
Yep.
So yeah,
I love the cat videos.
So I mean, it's Spider-Verse is going to win. Incredibles
controlled.
Incredibles would be number 2.
Meow. Yeah. So.
But so we figured we'd So all these Captain Marvel is the one that's coming up next. It has to live up to Spider-Verse now.
So we've spent a little time not crapping on Captain Marvel, but expressing some concern that Captain Marvel was going to underperform and undersatisfy.
Yes.
I won't say underperform, just because I'm sure it's going to make a ton of money.
Well, sure.
It has failed to capture my interest.
They've been pumping the pre-numbers an awful lot, I've noticed. Oh, it's selling ahead of Aquaman. It's selling ahead of
Because they open
Infinity.
Because they put up more screens than the other ones.
It feels like they are doing
people buy movie tickets in advance now.
What's interesting is what you usually see from, and I'll throw it out there, the Marvel fanboys crapping on the DC movies before they hit theaters.
Yeah.
There is a backlash of bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes against this movie, and nobody's seen a frame.
I know.
You've seen the trailer.
I know.
And people are just burying it already.
No, they did. I think yesterday they started releasing.
They've had the press screeners, right?
This morning,
the NDAs came off or whatever.
Jessica Chobot, or however you pronounce her name, was highlighting tweets of people who had seen screenings in LA, in the last 24 hours. And I never trust these things anyway, but there certainly were people, talking about enjoying it, talking about it having a lot of difference from other movies, which I would expect. So I'm really interested to see, how it actually comes across.
We'll see how it goes. We're gonna go see it the weekend it comes out. We'll have a review up that weekend. My daughter's gonna come because that's one of her characters, so she's excited to see it.
She gonna be part of our post movie review.
I'm gonna try. Put her on mic.
I'll see what I can do. She'll get with it. But we figured as a primer for Captain Marvel, because now you have what at least Disney's hoping is going to be another powerful female movie character thrown into the mix to rival, say Wonder Woman.
Yep.
We'd go over and do a discussion about some of the better female characters in like pop culture / sci-fi kind of movies. Because there's a lot of them. So she's got to, if they want her to do what they think she can do, they're gonna have to put her in a place above some of these other ones.
Okay.
So first one I'm going to bring up is Kate Beckinsale from the Underworld movies.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, the martial arts badass, is always a good place to start.
She is. I mean, Celine's a wrecking ball in those movies, taking out giant werewolves, taking out elder vampires, banging werewolves, all kinds of good stuff.
I think I only saw
half and half.
She's like the female Blade.
Basically, she is. Yeah, she's like female Blade.
I think I only saw the first of those. Mostly the sequels fell off. I can't consume an infinite amount, and those fell off.
Yeah,
it's the same story for the 5 movies.
Yeah, first one, second one, and the last one I think are the best ones. There was one without her that wasn't that good. The one with her kid wasn't that good. That was kind of weird. Yeah, her and the
daughter.
The daughter.
That was the last. Was that the last one?
I thought there was one after that. Maybe that was. I don't. I said they're all kind of the same.
I mean, I'll watch her do anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's always been one on the list.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not saying they're the best movies, but that's a.
We've certainly the last 20 or 30 years there have been more, though certainly fewer female heroes. I always certainly what was the Mad Max movie, Fury Road?
Oh yeah,
that one I really liked. Charlize Theron's character.
Yep.
Had wasn't just, oh, we need a dumb action character and let's make her female. She had an arc. She's obviously a badass Oscar-winning actress in a, no arm. Always got to love that sort of stuff.
Lot of driving.
Yeah, lots of driving.
She's a good driver.
Driving out. Driving back.
Yeah, but it looked awesome.
It's always good when you have a higher caliber actress play the character, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Ripley.
Yeah, Sigourney.
I mean, probably the most badass.
That's probably
the
first one I really remember.
So
she's kind of like the OG.
So Alien was 1979.
Yes,
I think. I remember.
Alien.
I was
mid 80s, right?
Yeah, it was like 9 years later.
83, I thought?
I'll find out.
I don't know. It's something like that. But I remember as a kid that movie coming out. I don't remember when I first saw it. I obviously didn't see it when I was 8 or 9. You did, Chris?
No, it was 86 though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why you're saying you did.
Hold on, as I hurt my shoulder padding myself.
Yes.
But in defense, I was only 4, so.
But one of the interesting things in that original Alien movie was you saw, a working blue collar crew. They're in a spaceship, but I mean they were a blue collar crew. There's still only a couple women in the crew, but there didn't seem to be a distinction,
And again, common thread.
Yeah.
Excellent hero arc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she's not
going from timid to badass.
Oh, yeah.
She's not a
by necessity.
She's not a marine.
Out of necessity.
Yeah.
The survivalist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's not a marine.
Yep.
She's not a superhero. She doesn't have powers. She's an astronaut. She's a scientist.
Yep.
Or a navigator or something like that.
Yep. She wasn't. I remember when I did see that movie, I was struck. I mean, I was probably, a teenage boy. So Sigourney Weaver in her underwear coming out of hypersleep probably was a notable thing for me. But what was interesting was that wasn't treated like that was treated at that time in our culture. Like, oh, look at that, sexy woman. No, she was all the crew members come out of hypersleep. They're all in various states of undress because that's what happened. And that kind of set an interesting, I noticed that she was just part of the crew. And of course I knew she was going to be one of the survivors, I think, by the time I finally saw
if that came out in this day and age,
yeah,
that would be torn apart.
I'll be destroyed.
Gratuitous. There's no reason to have her in her underwear.
See, I didn't think it was gratuitous because
it wasn't.
Everybody was.
But it's just, you're in this hypersensitivity
people are
age now.
People are dicks. But that was obviously fantastic.
Everybody has a form for their opinion now, and they all think they're important.
I'm not.
Much like the three of us.
Nope. Nope. I am not important. My opinion is worthless.
I sent you guys that tweet, right?
Which one?
What do they call 2 or more white guys talking?
Oh, yeah, like a podcast. A pack of white guys in the wild is called a podcast now?
It's a podcast.
That's kind of funny.
Oh, well. Hey, we paid for the microphones. We can do what we want.
Yeah. Nobody has to listen.
Obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So obviously we can go into like the comic book movies if you wanted to. You have Wonder Woman.
Obviously.
I think it's the best female comic character so far put on film. So Captain Marvel, she has to compete against Wonder Woman as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know. I'm interested, much more of a blank slate in pop culture. Fewer people have a clue who she is. Fewer people have an expectation of what she should look like, how she should perform, how she fits into the greater world. Whereas most folks know Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, she wears an impractically small costume. She has a lasso, and
she's part of the Holy Trinity.
Yeah,
everybody. You talk to non-comic book fans, they'll come up with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman before any of the characters that are making all this.
She's an invisible plane, right? Yeah.
So you got Black Widow from the Marvel side.
Sure.
Great character, especially because she has no power. She's just very well trained. She's a muggle. She's
curious to see what that movie's going to be. they've done that story in a bunch of different varieties, just not calling her Black Widow.
Yeah, well, Femme Nikita.
You've seen...
Well, that's I was going to say.
Red Sparrow.
Nikita.
I mean,
Red Sparrow, yeah.
I haven't seen Red Sparrow, but I recently rewatched La Femme Nikita.
Yeah. The movie, not the TV show, right?
Yeah, the movie. I've never seen the TV show. The Luc Besson, French language feature, and it still holds up. Everything, I love everything about that movie, but again, seeing a character arc, she's a strung out, criminal, group member who ends up in a position where her choices, die or train and become a badass. Mm-hmm. And if you remember the critical scene where she basically graduates from, the French CIA training and becomes, they basically set her up to die as her final test. And, she basically has to shoot her way out, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they do that, because the whole female assassin thing's been done to death. It really has. So, I mean, you almost have to, not go origins, but basically what you should do is you should pair her some other, normal, non-powered characters and put them on a mission against someone. I don't know how you do that, but...
I like the
Sounds
mission.
like it's not a movie and another one of the TV shows on the network.
And yeah, I would rather have do that instead of doing any damage to the character with a bad movie. Do a long form kind of thing.
I want more shows and fewer movies anyway.
I want more Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, it's true. Little off the grid comic character wise, I'll take every female character in Sin City.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Rosario Dawson, Gale from Sin City, Devin Sawa.
I read a little bit of Sin City.
You saw the movies though, right?
I saw only the first movie.
Okay.
And one of the main things I was seeing it for, because I was on a big comic guy then, was Robert Rodriguez, the filming approaches, right? The filming in the Frank Miller black and white, not just gray, black, non-colored, but literally black and white, a very, very high contrast, and some CGI. I was really interested in how they approached it.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
It was really neat. But I mean, basically every female character in that movie kills somebody.
Yeah.
So
that's your measure of badass female is death?
No, I'm saying, but they hold their own.
Yes. All right.
That's what it's because it all happens. It's all standing your ground and
not being a pawn or a symbol.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They just you came into their hood and they fuck you up.
Yep.
I'm going to throw out just about all the female characters in the Tarantino-verse, but specifically the bride.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bill.
Obviously.
I didn't bring it up because I was waiting for him to do it. So
yeah.
I mean that's... well, she's the entire protagonist for,
But again, there's your arc.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Timid female to badass, vengeful.
Yeah.
Hell on two legs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Tarantino's females have always been fetishistically powerful and violent and cool.
Very much like your 70s exploitation. Jackie Brown.
Yep.
Was
Foxy Cleopatra kind of
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie Brown's good too.
Isn't he? He's making Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now?
Yeah, he's doing the Manson film.
Yeah.
With Harley Quinn starring in Sharon Tate.
Oh, that's right.
And then they're talking about doing another Kill Bill with the daughter.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
I don't know if the daughter is upset with the mother for killing I don't know how. I forget exactly what I read.
Made me think of Daryl Hannah's role in that. The nurse. Yeah. That was
What was her name again during that movie?
I think she was just called the nurse, wasn't she?
Was it?
Was she?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll have to go back and look.
I mean, I haven't
it sounded
seen
right when you said it.
Because she ended up being she was the nurse in the hospital scene, but then she ended up being she killed Madsen and they fight and
I don't
whatever. Because I know they all had snake names. I just can't remember what was. They did right? They all had snake names?
It's been so long since I saw that. I don't know.
I've seen the Kill Bill movies a couple times, but they're good. Nice. I'm going to go way back. So not so much badass in the movie they were put in, but spun off into something that became a very big female empowerment thing. But Christy Swanson, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Oh yeah.
So,
I don't think I ever saw the original movie, but I think I saw every episode of that show.
Yeah. Totally different characters.
Oh yeah.
Not as Sarah Michelle Gellar's characters more.
They turned it into camp for the
which
movie.
is
it's very much leaning into.
She was a valley girl with a
what's the
stake.
tone of the original one?
silly. It is. She's a valley girl who doesn't want to deal with it, who has no choice to.
One of your main vampires opposing her is Pee Wee Herman.
Really?
He's great in it too.
I need
You've never seen that movie. He loses an arm, then he loses this, and it's just like it's great.
It's the most prolonged death scene.
Then
the eye opens up again.
Yeah, and then after the credits, like one of the first after credit scenes, it's him still with the stake. It's like after all.
They kind of took Josh's script, and it was a reason to get like Luke Perry and Christy Swanson.
Yeah, David Arquette in it and stuff like that. But I just remember watching it when I was a kid, and I saw the movie. Like, I loved that movie. Yeah. Loved it, and then it spun off into the show, which I liked a lot. My mother loved it.
That's right. David Arquette was the best friend, wasn't he?
Dude, who becomes the vampire? Right. He's like, come on, Pike, let me. He's like, you're...
spoilers.
No.
Dude, it's 25 years ago. There's no...
At least.
Shot clock ran out long time ago.
But I haven't seen anything.
Spartacus dies. Just don't know.
Damn it.
Let's see. What else we got? Sarah Connor from Terminator.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... And again, there's an interesting arc there. Her importance in the first movie and in that universe is not anything about who she is, as far as you know. It's just, she's the mom of the important guy.
Yeah,
right?
I'll take that, her entire character arc over the series.
Yes.
Watching where she starts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because her ascendance into being badass is because she knows she has to have this kid and protect him so he can get to point A so that the whole thing can happen.
But until he travels back to save her from getting killed by Arnold, she doesn't have any of that element that forms the person she becomes.
Yeah. She's a waitress, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. No,
she's just every day.
Looks like she belongs in Alice, right? Wasn't she wearing like the pink diner uniform?
Working at Mel's or something.
And they're in production on the Terminator with Arnie and Linda Hamilton back in it.
Yeah. Cameron's back in it.
Yep. Can't wait to see that.
We'll see how it goes. I think we've talked. We did some Terminator talk once. Could be whatever.
We'll see.
So how about, and I don't know if you two watch it, most of the female characters on Game of Thrones.
So
I was going to say Arya.
Strong female characters in every corner there.
You do. The ones that are still standing. I'm a big Arya Stark
Spoilers.
fan. No. If you don't know people died in Game of Thrones,
you might hate Cersei, but
she is. She's nuts.
Did you ever see her in? Do you watch the Terminator, Sarah Connor, the Terminator, or the Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
I did watch
with Summer Gall. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
She just showed up in Fighting with My Family.
Yeah,
she
plays
the mother.
Right? Yeah.
What's Fighting with My Family?
The Paige from WWE wrestling movie that he
it's like an origin story.
That's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah, because it's wrestling.
It just
came out
because it's wrestling. Yeah.
No, Game of Thrones has crazy characters. I like Arya Stark. I think Arya Stark is awesome in that show. Yeah. I'm hoping she makes it to the end. I'm hoping she takes out Cersei somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. I'd
love to see Needle go through the side of her head.
I caught up on all the books. I certainly love the crap out of the show for a zillion reasons. Again, that's an interesting. I mean, the entire universe there is kind of a medieval one, which means women tend to be protected, sidelined. Prostitutes, cooks, that sort of thing.
Old world stuff.
Except each of the various characters, female and male, have interesting arcs, have personality that places them in those or moves them through them. Cersei Lannister actually goes from, right, when she's Baratheon's queen and wife, she's still working her crap around the sides, but she is absolutely diminished and sidelined. She's working her crap around with her brother and her family and stuff. But his death and the way that she becomes the queen mother of multiple, I love all that stuff.
Yeah, she's
Daenerys is obviously a big deal. Yeah. When you have dragons.
When you have a dragon, you kind of head towards the top of the list. Yeah,
three dragons,
even like some of the characters aren't on the show anymore that died off, like the Stark mother and she was a character. So I mean, you had Game of Thrones Game of Thrones is loaded with good characters anyway.
Oh shit! That made me think Westworld, right? I mean, have you caught up on Westworld?
I've seen the original Westworld movie, have not seen the show.
Yeah, no, the Westworld show has there's it's an ensemble cast, but one of the main characters is an interesting.
Thandie Newton.
I wasn't even thinking. Yeah, Thandie Newton, but it's. I was thinking of what's her name. I'm totally drawing a blank. Come on, guys, faster with your Google Foo.
Sorry.
I thought you were
Google Foo.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yes, Thandie Newton, and there's another one.
There's another main female character in it. The one with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
The trailer. Yeah, I just haven't gotten to watch it yet.
Chloe from Big Love, but I forgot about that.
Yeah, I can't think.
Vincent Gallo's film.
Yeah.
Brown Bunny.
Okay. HBO shows always do a pretty good job of putting a decent female character for top, minus Oz, obviously. But then again, you had Rita Moreno.
I was going to say Rita was awesome on.
Yeah, she was.
I haven't watched Oz in so long.
So you had Rita Moreno from West Side Story as like the nun in the prison.
That's right.
She was the counselor.
She was, yeah. And there's a bunch of scenes too. Like, yeah, you could say that because like, there'd be times people try to get up in her face and she's like, sit the fuck down. So she was kind of a hard ass for a nun. Let's see, Éowyn from Lord of the Rings. Sure. One of the only there's like two female characters basically in that movie, Éowyn and Arrow.
You know what we should have done for this episode is
prepare.
Well, I mean that wouldn't sound.
That's not our format.
And that wouldn't be fair. No, I was thinking. Yeah, I'd actually like to have our wives here so that it wasn't just us.
My wife doesn't watch enough movies. She'd be like, "Oh, that one from."
Well, yeah, but then she would look to be unknowledgeable rather than me.
That's true. She doesn't. She's like, "Oh, I know that."
So wait, you want to make your wife look bad to make yourself feel better?
No, I want to make his wife look bad to make me feel better. Plus,
but they're just going to fight.
She would get exactly.
Yeah,
and I get yelled at for something.
Exactly, and that's
for liking Lord of the Rings. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I'm saying there's like two main female characters in that movie. You have Liv Tyler and Éowyn.
There's Walking Girl and Walking Girl.
Yes, Walking Girl 1 and Walking Girl 2. But she's, she puts on the armor in the last battle, Return of the King, and she takes out the Ghost King, Witch King, whatever. So,
Witch King?
Witch King?
Read the books. Did not need 10 hours.
Who's on first?
Sorry.
Blah blah blah. All right, let's get down to it. How are we going to cap off? What do we? What's our top?
So every movie, whether it's whatever kind of movie it is, whether it's a male character, female character, sci-fi action, whatever, every movie needs that one moment where you go, haha, yeah, there's that one scene. So Wonder Woman has it, because we're using Wonder Woman as the basis of comparison for Captain Marvel. It's just you have to, right?
Sure. Yep.
And when she walks out of that trench for the first time,
and you get that
when she walks out of No Man's Land,
and the shawl comes off, and you have
the XL kicks in, and
and you have the bracelets light up, and she just then it's on from that. Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel is going to need one of those moments to even stand a chance, as far as at least not money wise, but they're
trying to give them to you, and
they're trying to. They're trying their damnedest. So if you go back and
watch her rise,
all these female characters. What's it's top 3 badass female character moments in movies.
All right.
That you look back at that scene, and you go, "Yep, that one."
So in my usual lack of preparedness fashion and my shitty memory, I don't have any honorable mentions. But I came up with the 3 that actually came to mind from movies specifically that meant a lot to me. And so my number 3 was actually, I don't know how to pronounce it right, Mila Jovovich in Fifth Element as Lilu.
Yep.
One of my favorite scenes in that very strange but awesome, again, a Luc Besson movie, is they're somewhere in space and there's this blue-skinned opera singer singing this really wild opera while Lilu, this weird orange-haired, strange costumed person, is facing off against these alien guys and just, and they have weapons and she doesn't, and she ends up kicking their ass while this really cool operatic song is going on and Bruce Willis is sitting on his ass. And
playing Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He does.
He's sitting on his ass, but he was actually looking a little more emotional than
there was a little hair on the top of his head. He didn't know what the hell was going on. He was in a white beater, suspenders,
Yeah, he had shoes on.
It was close.
He had shoes, which was a big thing.
Lilu from the Fifth Element and her kicking ass.
That's a good scene.
Okay. I have one honorable mention.
Okay.
This is going back, and I don't know if we've talked about this movie before, but Gina Davis as Samantha Cain in The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie.
And it's not one particular scene.
Yeah.
Just that badass fighting with amnesia, working her way through that.
I do remember. I remember seeing that and liking it. I don't remember any of the details, but
it's early Samuel. That's when he was just well, he still kind of does anything that's offered. But I just remember really liking her character.
Yeah.
And that female. And it's the amnesia. I mean, it's a cheap movie play. It's an easy trick to play, but it kind of fit very well with the storyline. And she was just a badass in that entire thing. You got an honorable mention? You want me to go right into 3?
No,
no, go into 3. I got one. I got 2 things I'll mention real quick. But go into 3.
My number 3 is actually something that Sean tagged up on before. It's Ridley versus the Queen. That scene from Aliens is her in the apparatus. I'm going to call it an apparatus. I don't know exactly what the hell.
Power loader. Power lifter.
There you go. Power lifter. Yeah. Which, by the way, was up for auction not too long ago. Somebody just sold that thing. And it was the UK auction, I think.
Yeah.
And went for insane money.
I couldn't store a 12th scale one, much less the full.
But it's that. One. I mean, that's the culmination of that arc.
Oh yeah,
we talked about earlier.
Yep.
You get to see her in all of her badass glory, forced into the situation. Not somebody that's a warrior, like DJ said. But we'll go with Ridley for 3.
It's a good one. So, a couple quick honorable mentions. I had, basically, I think it's Matrix 2, the Trinity hallway fight with the virus twins.
Oh yeah.
I remember when Matrix came out, it was like that flipped the script. It changed, everything. And Trinity was a big part of that movie. And
before Underworld, that was the black leather.
Exactly.
Badass.
Just no offense to Carrie-Anne Moss, I just like it when Kate Beckinsale does it better.
Because she has a British accent.
And then there we go.
True.
To be honest.
So I'll do that one as an honorable mention. And then you brought, she was on my original list, but you brought up Djokovic. I don't like them because they're scary, but all those Resident Evil movies, she just lays waste to fucking everything in sight.
Yeah.
So those are cool. So much like Chris, my number 3 is also the "Get off her, you bitch" scene from Aliens.
Yeah. Get away from her.
Get away from her, you bitch. That was just like it. The power loader, those awesome Reebok sneakers she has on.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a cool, iconic moment where like he just said that's like the top of the arc where she's no longer just the one who survives on the ship with the flamethrower. She's the one that takes out the big bitch alien. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'll go with that one.
All right, my number 2 is from the movie Serenity, not the one that just came out last year, but the one about Firefly. Yeah. Love that series. Interesting mix of characters, but the weird character of River Tam in the movie Serenity has this scene where she just screws up a bunch of Reavers, these really, really evil bad guys, and basically fights off and kills all of them while the rest of her crew is basically helpless and dying. She just does it, and it's just a fantastic scene. Martial arts, and I think she's carrying a weird. Is that
Summer Glau? That character?
Yeah,
Summer
Glau.
Nice.
Who was in Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yeah, she was good in that show too.
Yeah,
excellent.
That's my number 2.
I figured you're going to pull one of those Serenity scenes.
Yeah,
I was expecting.
Yeah, it's a nice pull. My number 2 isn't one scene specifically, but and tag up on your movie thing. I'm going the entire Buffy hero arc from the TV series.
Okay, there you go.
Sure.
So
and reason being, that's something I came to late. It was probably halfway through the run, and then we had to go back and watch them on DVD. And
it's all on Amazon Prime.
It's all there now. It's amazing.
Which is crazy because you pay $100 a season.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to Harley actually diving into that. But this is your, popular high school girl, so far removed from anything like this that I think it's more relatable.
Sure.
For some of the girls, they see somebody that kind of looks like them, even though they're fighting rubber vampires. But it's kind of ridiculous. But they're seeing that kind of hero arc and her growing into that badass as that series went along.
Maybe I should let my 13-year-old watch Buffy.
I went back and watched a few of them. You could easily.
Yeah.
Because they didn't allow
They were on
anything
WB
on
or
TV.
something like that. Or CW.
Yeah. Both. It bounced.
Oh, yeah, it bounced.
That's right.
Yeah, mid-series.
Nice.
All right, cool.
So my number 2 is the Mindy/Hit Girl hallway fight from Kick-Ass.
Oh, yeah.
She goes up in the elevator.
Excellent.
Oh,
yeah.
I put off watching Kick.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen 2.
Really? It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But I think those 2 movies, the pinnacle of all of them is that one scene.
Nice.
I remember for the longest time I didn't let Athena watch them because they're pretty brutal.
Foul. Yeah, and brutal. Yeah.
So I think it was like about a year ago we watched them for the first time. She was like 16. It's like, yeah, you can watch them now. Go ahead. And we watched the first one. And she was just like, oh, that's all. My kid likes violence. She likes to watch the kill scenes in movies.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, she goes in with like just a little kid outfit on with the suitcase full of weapons, and I'm scared. And caps 2 guys in the front hallway, takes the guy near the elevator, goes up, and just fucking annihilates like 30 guys.
Yeah.
Little aside, have you guys read the Kevin issue?
I gotta go pick them up.
No.
I know.
I have them. Is it good? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have them sitting on my desk.
Does he have, how many issues is he doing?
It's a 4-issue arc.
4.
So
this is a short one.
We'll wait. Let's read all 4, and then we'll do a whole perspective just on that. She's a great character. Hit Girl's a great character, even in the books. Phenomenal character. So I'm very excited about the new.
I'm curious to get your take on.
I'm very excited.
Nice.
Yeah, but I just remember I remember seeing that in the theater, and after the hallway scene, I was like, oh, this fucking kid is a machine.
Yeah. All right. So my number 1 is a little anticlimactic. Thanks to you bastards. Get away from her, you bitch, is the culminating. Well, it's not the end of that character arc. She goes on to a shitty movie in Aliens 3 that's still pretty good, or Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection Beyond. Yeah. But I just love that. I love the fact, again, I love the whole blue collar origin and anchor of that character, even after Alien. I love her showing up on the Sulaco with the Marines, and they're like, who the hell is this chick? And I forget how it comes about that she basically shows them that she can run the power lifter and move shit. And, the cigar chewing Marine guy is like, after you, he basically just lets her do it. And so that sets up the, therefore, completely non-bullshit of her mounting into that thing to battle something that's over her size and clearly, going to kick her ass because of Newt, so, which also embraces she's badass. She's not depending upon everybody. At the same time, she's got this maternal thing going with this kid, even though there's nothing about her in the past other than maybe Jonesy the cat that shows something nurturing or anything like that.
She never loses the human element in the first 2 movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent point.
Yeah, get away from her, you bitch. If Newt wasn't involved, she would have been out of there.
Yeah.
Right? So,
exactly.
So it's...
Yeah, so I guess we can safely say she's the top of the heap. Probably for...
Yeah.
Certainly for me. I mean, that's the first thing that came to mind before you guys, screwed me out of my number 1.
Get there faster.
Well, So you say, yeah. It's not a competition, Chris.
You seem to be taking it personally, though.
I always go first.
Okay. See? It's a status thing with him. It's so fucked up.
No, because DJ always goes last. You're just screwed no matter what.
Middle children.
Always in the middle.
Middle children. That's okay. Do you have people writing poems to you online? No?
We didn't talk. We didn't talk about that.
We can get to that.
All right, we'll talk about it in the next episode.
We'll get to it next. All right, so my number 1, and I really
collecting. Yeah.
I really focused on the scenes, like which scene stuck out to me the most in any of these, and I am going with the Bride versus the Crazy Eights and Go-Go.
Oh yeah, I
from
thought
Kill Bill 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
The scene in the Tokyo nightclub.
I mean, that's a powerhouse scene in terms of,
and it's in waves.
Everything
too, right?
about it, yeah.
I mean, she fights off all of the Crazy Eights in the first wave, only to have the one-on-one after she's injured and beaten down.
Yeah,
that's when I think of that powerful female character in a scene like that. That's the badass scene for me.
Yeah, good call.
So my number 1, probably not any shock value. It's Leia kills Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
So, and you could B and C it. Like you could go 1B, get in the garbage, shoot Flyboy. Yeah. Like right off the bat, like she saves their bacon right off the bat. Or you could do the from Jedi when they're surrounded at the shield generator, and she pulls out the gun. She's hiding behind Han, and she pushes him aside, takes out everyone. So Princess Leia
isn't that the one where the front of the gun droops because she's holding the blaster one-handed?
Maybe.
Never mind.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like for me, like as a kid, it was
question, Carrie.
No, seriously.
Seriously?
Fuck no. Like when I was a kid, it was always like I had Batman, Superman, and whatever, and she was like the first like female one. So
no, that makes. I can't believe I didn't think about that because
she was like my first like female character that I had an action figure for.
Oh yeah.
Or that there was.
She was one of the first action figures. Though, right?
I think she was probably the first one. So
yeah.
So it's Princess Leia.
I had all those original action figures. I still have most. In fact, I think I have my original Princess Leia. I should take a. You should see. I have an action figure case It has my original Battlestar Galactica action figures and my original Star Wars figures. Yeah.
All mine disappeared so long ago.
Yeah.
I just watched a huge retrospective thing on the Battlestar Galactica toys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's some guy on YouTube who does throwbacks, he'll break down digital licenses. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Yeah, I really loved that show back then and the toys. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay, so let's see. Sean had the Lilu versus the alien attack fight from Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was the Reaver scene from Serenity with Summer Glau. And number 1 was Get Away From Her, You Bitch from Aliens. Yep. Ripley Kills the Queen. Chris had number 3, Ridley versus the Queen. Number
at least I got to it first in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hooked him up. Number 2 was the entire arc of Buffy's progression on the TV show for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mm-hmm. And number 1 was the Bride versus the Crazy Eights that I knew he was going to pick the second we started talking about this. Mm-hmm. I knew it was going to happen.
He's weak like that.
Yeah. My number 3 was also Ripley versus the Alien Queen. So if I think for the first time ever, something hit on all 3.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I think so.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. My number 2 was
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Peanut butter cups.
Yeah, but if it's obvious, we shouldn't.
Yeah, it was obvious.
It was the first.
That's true. You're right.
True.
I need a peanut butter cup.
That's a good idea.
You have piles of them upstairs.
Whoa. Did you hear that?
We'll break. Shit, where was I? Oh, yeah. My number 2 was the Hit Girl hallway scene from the end of Kick-Ass. My number 1 was Princess Leia takes out Jabba the Hutt and Return of the Jedi.
Excellent.
One thing I didn't mention, because it's a cartoon and not like a true movie, my kid get mad at me, when Mulan saves the Emperor in
I
Disney
still
Mulan.
haven't seen Mulan. I think it's the only Disney... No, I haven't seen Colors of the Wind.
Oh, Pocahontas.
I haven't seen that
if we had my kid here, she would pick Mulan as like easily her favorite female character.
Yeah, I should watch that.
It's a good character. And there's a live action one coming out we can talk about next year.
Speaking of that, Ralph Breaks the Internet. The Disney Princess stuff in that movie was awesome.
Gold.
Yeah,
absolute gold. It was great. So.
Right.
Okay, so that's our little primer on female characters. And we're going to weave this right into Captain Marvel. So we'll reference them back and forth on some of these things we talked about here when comparing Captain Marvel, because unfortunately that's what she's getting compared to.
Sure.
For good, bad, or otherwise. So she better hit at least some of these notes or top some of these moments, or she's just going to get lost in the shuffle.
Lost in those billions of dollars,
Yep.
Her
take that and your $900 million and shove it, sister.
All right.
So until next time, thank you for listening. If you want to hit us up on Twitter at FMen37, at DJNera, at Vacaboca, at ChrisDavis_37. Follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes,
Facebook,
Google Play, Facebook. I'm working on Spotify. I'll have that done.
Oh, nice.
I think next week.
Patriots.com, any of those.
Yeah, Patriots.com, yeah.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Later.